The New World Order is the liberal agenda. I'm certainly not saying that both major parties in America, the Democrats and the Republicans, aren't corrupt at the top of the pyramid, working together to sell out our country and our culture, but there should be a clear distinction between the real Republicans and the fake ones, the rhinos, the Republicans in name only, which really, I guess, are most of them these days. Neocons and rhinos are liberals. They just call themselves something else so that they give the appearance of being the opposition. The political establishment's plan is a liberal plan. It's undeniable that liberals support a growing government and its continuous expansion in both size and power. Liberals are trying to take away guns and remove citizens' right to bear arms under the disguise of gun control, and a primary feature of the New World Order agenda involves building a nanny state, a cradle-to-grave government bureaucracy that has its tentacles wrapped around every aspect of everyone's life, from childcare and education to what people can eat to what healthcare procedures they're allowed to get or what job they will have. The New World Order promotes the welfare class by getting more and more people dependent on the government for everything from healthcare and education to food stamps and stimulus checks and housing. In fact, a plan launched in the 1960s by a group of political activists called the Cloward-Piven strategy openly admitted that they aimed to overload the U.S. welfare system in order to cause a financial crisis, which they hoped would usher in socialism and redistribute Americans' wealth by handing out a guaranteed annual income to everyone, now called the UBI, a universal basic income. What may have seemed like a pipe dream back in the 1960s is now on the verge of being realized. It's the Great Reset. It's the New World Order. Liberals are overwhelmingly atheists and particularly anti-Christian. They want the government to be seen as God and the ultimate authority and moral compass in society. They believe that our rights come from the government, not from God. And since they believe that basic liberties are granted by the government instead of inherent in all human beings, endowed in our Creator, like the Declaration of Independence says in the second sentence, they also claim that they have the authority to take away those rights. The liberal establishment constantly shouts racism and accuses political opponents of hate speech for simply disagreeing with their agenda or criticizing any non-white politician. Liberals constantly demonize white people, claiming that they're all inherently racist and that we enjoy white privilege simply from being born white. It's a privilege, I guess, to constantly be blamed for all the problems in black people's lives and in their communities. In the New World Order, racism is a one-way street. It's something that only white people do to black people, Mexicans, and Asians. Most people even call anti-white racism reverse racism, which shows how well their semantical tricks are working. Call anti-white racism what it is. It's anti-whiteism. Start using that term to break the conditioning and not play into the left's linguistic games. Did you know that internal Facebook documents revealed that 90% of the hate speech their algorithms automatically detected and removed was anti-whiteism and posts from feminists venting their hatred of men? But you're not supposed to talk about the radical resentment aimed at white people or unhinged feminists' hatred of men. The New World Order promotes feminism because it's another liberal ideology being used to undermine society. In the New World Order, gay marriage and gay adoption are promoted as special and amazing opportunities, while traditional nuclear families are portrayed as old-fashioned and outdated. Liberals support the idea of man-made global warming or climate change or climate disruption or whatever they're calling it these days, and try to use the changes in the weather to justify citizens being forced to pay carbon taxes in order to supposedly help save the planet. Liberals overwhelmingly support abortion, where historically and currently conservatives are against it. Mass illegal immigration is now also a major part of the New World Order. And, well, we all know that it's liberals who oppose securing the U.S.-Mexico border because they know that once the illegal aliens are given amnesty and U.S. citizenship, they will almost all vote Democrat, thus keeping the Democrat Party in power for perhaps generations due to the nearly 20 million illegal aliens who are living in America waiting for the amnesty plan to be approved. Liberals overwhelmingly support the United Nations. They promote drugs and pornography. They support government schools indoctrinating children with gender bending and teaching them about drag queens and promoting critical race theory, which again is just a code word for anti-whiteism. And the list of liberal programs and ideologies at the core of the New World Order goes on and on. Conversely, conservatives, most of whom identify with the Republican Party, overwhelmingly support reducing the size of government and hope to shrink its scope and influence. Conservatives want the government out of your lives. Conservatives promote traditional family values, sexual modesty, and tend to believe in God and celebrate Christian holidays. Let's not forget that it's Christians who have been warning about the coming mark of the beast, social credit scores, the cashless society, global identification system, and the whole New World Order plan. And in the meantime, trendy, big government-loving liberals see transhumanism as progress and the next step in human evolution in their path to supposed godhood. Liberals want the government to tax people that they see as successful at a higher percentage and give their money to others who they feel need it in order for social justice and income redistribution. Such handouts destroy the incentive to work hard and create large pockets of the population who are jealous and hateful of people who are seen as rich, who are really just average, hardworking Americans, further dividing society into more manageable camps that are pit against each other to prevent them from seeing the big picture. An ineptocracy has been described as, quote, a system of governance where the least capable to lead are elected by the least capable of producing, and where members of society least likely to sustain themselves or succeed are rewarded with the goods and services paid for by the confiscated earnings of a diminishing number of producers. In other words, the mobs of lazy, unproductive people vastly outnumber those with persistence, dedication, and a good work ethic. So the majority of people are able to approve legislation which will facilitate giving them more government handouts, which are paid for by people who actually show up to work on time and put in a hard day's labor. This prevents most hardworking people from getting ahead while pacifying the majority of unproductive people who leech off those who do work. And anyone with a brain knows that the mainstream media is a liberal cesspool of fake news and Marxist propaganda, promoting the New World Order agenda and ruthlessly attacks and censors anyone who opposes it. But why is Hollywood so liberal, many people wonder? In part, it's because the entertainment industry thrives on pushing boundaries and shocking people with anything that'll get their attention. Salacious sex, gruesome violence, and taboo subjects are used as bait to reel in audiences and get them to tune into a show or buy tickets to a film. The industry's elites exploit our most basic drives and instincts and enable viewers to live vicariously through strange characters and experience a world they would never otherwise be able to be a part of. The general public's appetite for new novelties is insatiable as they quickly grow bored with the latest graphics, action sequences, and plot twists. Like a drug addict's increasing tolerance causes them to need more and more to get the same high, the dumbed down masses need more and more extreme entertainment to feel the same sense of enjoyment. But there's another reason liberalism is loved, not only in entertainment, but by the news media, the Operation Mockingbirds, and the Marxist Democrats as well. They're rebelling against God. They're servants of Satan, determined to destroy the very foundation of modern society. The celebrities and TV news hosts have sold their soul for tens of millions of dollars, and there's no limit to the lies that they'll tell or the lengths they'll go to promote the New World Order. Then there's the Bilderberg Group, the World Economic Forum, the Sun Valley Conference, and the rest of the conspirators who make up a complex web of deceit. But most people don't notice because they're too busy being distracted by pop culture, political footballs being tossed around, and trending topics on social media. It's only when you step back and look at the big picture that you can see the New World Order and just how all-encompassing it is. If you like my monologues like this, then you'll love reading my books. So order the Liberal Media Industrial Complex in paperback from Amazon.com or download the ebook from any of the major ebook stores. My books are a lot more in-depth and hardcore than my videos, which I have to tone down a bit for obvious reasons. So head on over to Amazon.com or click the link in the description below and check them out.